But I sat down and old school pen and paper, wrote down things that I have learned over the last 32 years. If I could go back 10 years and tell the 22-year-old version of myself these lessons, I think I would save myself a lot of embarrassment, a lot of stress, a lot of heartbreak. They feel sometimes simple, sometimes radical, but either way, I do think something, and I hope something, that can be helpful to you. Identity and personal growth. These are 5 or 6 life lessons that have become so core to my being that it was almost hard to write them down because it was hard to tease them apart from me. I really had to realize that I didn't always integrate these things in my life to the detriment of myself or to others, but I do carry them with me now, and they are part of my integrity to myself. If I do something that doesn't align with these things, then I know that I'm out of integrity with myself. Whatever I'm doing probably feels wrong. It probably will leave me with a feeling of guilt or shame, or just feeling outside of myself. So here we go. It's okay to reinvent yourself. You get to be whoever you want to be. Sometimes we feel like we have to be tomorrow who we were yesterday. It's okay to have self-exploration. It's okay to trial those parts of yourself out and abandon them later. You constantly get to reinvent yourself. Being a chameleon can either become your greatest strength or your greatest weakness. When I was practicing as a doula, it was my greatest strength because I was able to balance energy in the room really well. My client was having a low moment. I was there to lift her. She was feeling elevated and the room was starting to feel really big. I was able to bring it down. Balancing quality became a superpower within that role for me. The flip side of that is you can become someone who alters who you are in every space, and you start to take the temperature of the room before you decide how you feel. When I was doing that as a doula, it was my job. I was clocking in and clocking out. And so that was okay. It was a compartmentalized moment. When that started leaching into other things like social environments or personal relationships, that became problematic. So you need to find that line and find that balance for yourself. We are people who want community, and sometimes we'll go to lengths to get it that we don't even see in the moment. Take stock of things. Think about who you were and ask yourself if it's aligned with who you are. Turning 30 isn't the best. It isn't the worst. It just is. I know so many people who have feared turning 30, and I know just as many people who thought 30 was going to radically change their life and that this decade was going to bring them something that their 20s didn't. That's true. Every decade brings you something new. But turning 30 doesn't turn you into a different person. That's still on you. Stripping away some of that grandiose aura that turning 30 has can be really helpful when you start to think about changes you want to make. You don't have to wait till your 30s to do certain things. Changes can happen whenever you want. I think more and more people in their 20s are realizing that. So cool to witness. I think people in their teens and 20s right now are just some of the coolest, most radical generation. They're doing really big things. Get introspective about every purchase you make. Are you buying that piece of clothing because you genuinely like it? Or are you buying it because the person who was wearing it made you feel a certain way and you want to see how close you could get to them, and sharing a piece of wardrobe kind of felt like being closer? Or do they look like their life is really together? You want your life to be really together, so you kind of want to walk the walk. To be really thoughtful and really introspective about where you're putting your money, why you're making those purchases, because it's not going to do long-term positive things to your mental health to fill your wardrobe and to fill your life with things that aren't representative of you, but that are a financial strain. And the last one is to invest in wardrobe basics. This might seem like a simple one, but it's so true. Find your style, find the basics that go with it, and spend intentionally and thoughtfully on them so that you get really high quality pieces. They will take you further. You'll end up repurchasing less. It saves you time, stress, all of that in the long run. And it creates an investment piece for you that you get to look back on and remember. I have items in my closet that I've had for 5-10 years. It can be outside of your wardrobe too. You can invest in a really high quality couch, a really high quality mattress, especially in your home. Those are the types of things that you really want to be thoughtful and intentional about purchasing, because that's where you marinate and that's where you should feel soft and cozy and supported. If you liked this, if you found it insightful, or if anything in here spoke to you, please give me a like, please subscribe so you don't miss anything in the future that's coming out. In the comments below, I would love to learn one thing that you have learned in your time here, whether that be something really small like drinking more water, or something really big I think it's so important that we share that wisdom. So these are my 32 things, and I'm really excited to hear yours. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.